This is part four of talking about Black history in rural parts of Louisiana, and this is a particular community that has a pretty unique history when it comes to Black literature and Black cinematography in the 20th century that you may or may not heard of. So let's talk about Oscar, Louisiana, in Point Coupee Parish, which is in South Louisiana, about 30 minutes from Baton Rouge. It sits off of the False River, and particularly this is a really important place to Ernest Gaines, who is one of the most prolific writers of the 20th century, especially when it comes to Black literature and cinematography, but writers, period. Now, he grew up as a sharecropper in the 1930s and 40s in Cherry Quarters, which is a place that is tied to River Lake Plantation in Oscar, Louisiana. In this particular area that he grew up in would become instrumental for so many of his writings later on in life. Now, he would be raised a lot also in California, where he was sent to be educated, but eventually he would split his time between California and the Bay Area and South Louisiana. Now, his writings would really pull from his experiences as a sharecropper, his family stories in that community, including famous books such as the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, as well as A Gathering of Old Men. Now, eventually these books will become movies with people like Cicely Tyson and Louis Gossett Jr. starring in some of the most iconic films. Now, Ernest Gaines eventually would move back to Oscar, Louisiana permanently, and he's laid to rest with his ancestors, some of whom were enslaved people whose graves may not be marked at all. And with that being said, his grave actually reads to lie with those who have no mark, paying homage to them. This is a community truly with deep Black and Creole history and culture.